So this is up Conundrum Creek near Snowmass, Colorado, 1st of July 2019. Back in March, a colossal pair of avalanches came down into the creek, kind of went up the other side, maybe a few hundred feet vertically, and then turned left and went down the valley. There's a house right at the end of the road that was right directly in the path. Luckily for them, they built a prow to break the force, and the house survived. I'll show you that in a sec. But all of this in front of us is the upstream lobe that came down. It's just a mat of logs, branches, needles, rocks, and other debris, but there's snow underneath still. It might be probably tens of feet thick still, filling in. A little bit farther down in the valley, the entire creek just goes under the snow pile. But you can see how it ran up the far side after it started somewhere up there. Some of the trees it brought down weren't just broken, they were uprooted and probably broken into violence. Here's one that, boy, I'd guess is over 100 years old. The thing is a couple feet in diameter up on the trunk. You can see this gigantic base and roots where it got torn out. It's really been a bad place to be. The biggest pile of snow still is down below this lower avalanche chute. The whole Conundrum Creek is going into and underneath it. You can't see it. It's probably tens of feet of snow and logs still totally plugging it up, but it just melted its way through. I'm going to be walking through some of these air blast bent aspens, and probably a fair amount of snow here too, but not the heavy stuff. So most of this is just bent but not broken. I'll keep rolling though so we can walk out of this into the next larger debris field and this dirty snow pile. I think some of the snow coming down behind me made a left turn downstream. The trees are bending downstream, and then that is going to lead into this much larger, much more violent looking avalanche outflow. Again, it ran up the far side quite a bit, maybe at least a little over 100 feet vertically above, and maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred yards or more away from the stream. And now it's just a wasteland looking place, but again, a lot of what we're looking at is actually snow. It's just been armored with all the twigs and logs and branches and needles as it melts underneath and they get concentrated down onto it. Another particularly big tree, and then sticking down in, but underneath there you can see that white stuff's snow. A lot. There may be many feet of snow still underneath this part of the avalanche debris field. It'll probably last into August, maybe beyond. It's kind of protected underneath all this woody stuff. It looks like we had top speed right down the main chute here, no surprise. That's where the biggest snow cone remains. That's where the creek is going, completely subterranean. And we've got kind of the heaviest concentration of the largest logs, and these two little fingers that ran quite a bit up above me. And I'm already quite a bit above the creek. So kind of like walking through a humongous wood chipper pile. It'll be interesting to see what's left of this trail once the melt lowers all of this down to ground level. It's going to be a pick up sticks zone. Try to get the trail back. For now, there's just kind of a social trail pushed in over it. There's Conundrum Creek emerging from underneath the main snow wedge, and you can see the main course of the avalanche turned left and just went down the creek valley. A lot of snow still there. In fact, the creek is going back under it again there. Not sure how far downstream before it pops back out. So mostly snow there, armored with tree limbs and tree trunks and etc. Another good air blast up here above the main flow, knocking aspens over. And then up above me is where the stuff that climbed the hill also turned left and went up and over and down. You can see aspens either broken off or knocked over. And this upper level swept right down through the trailhead area where cars are parked here. And then just below this parking area is where that uppermost house is with the avalanche barrier. So I'll finish up with a clip of that. We're quite a ways below the chutes. Not where it rushed out from the slope, but where it made the turn left down stream. Still way above the stream though. This aspen grove mostly snapped off or knocked over, and we're getting near the house, so they've already done a lot of cleanup. So you can see some of these that snapped over have been cut off. Other logs removed to open the road. Looking below me here, again knocked over, snapped off. A fair bit of cleanup work has already happened, but I'm walking up on this prow. So reading about this, it's about 21 feet tall right here at the leading edge, and the house it protects is back behind this. They're doing a lot of cleanup work here. You can see some salvaged logs stacked up, but I mean that's got to be a couple hundred feet vertically above the house. All these aspens uprooted and knocked over. And coming down the road here around the prow, I think I read it tapers down to 17 feet tall on the lower edge. Really nice house. Last one on the end of the road here. But despite that avalanche barrier, apparently it was designed to protect against a 100-year avalanche event. You can see that upper chimney got knocked askew. There's roof damage. Lots of landscaping issues, of course. But basically, I think it's safe to say that that prow saved the house. Despite some damage, it did its job. So I think they'll live to fight another day here. Anyway, that's what I saw here from the March 9th, 2019 avalanche up Conundrum Creek. Filmed this on July 1st, 2019. So happy summer, everybody. Take care. Bye.